The Pittsburgh rabbi can do what he wants. Lately, there's been criticism from leftists and in the media about the current situation in Pittsburgh and whether or not Trump should speak about it and go to Pittsburgh and actually assess the situation and offer resources or any help with anything that these people may need. And my message is, why not? The Pittsburgh rabbi can do whatever he wants. If he wants to have Trump come and do this thing, speak about it, offer resources, help out, then he should be allowed to. And the rabbi said he's welcome. And the rabbi said that, if any unity can be brought out of this, then we should do that. People in the media have been disingenuous. Over at CNN, they constantly bring it up. They always present it as if they aren't against Trump showing up, but people are. Who are the people? And why do you keep focusing on that? Why do you keep bringing it up? Why is it such an issue with you guys? And I'm sick and tired of the bullcrap from the left-wing media. Every time there's a tragedy, it's got to be somebody on the right's fault, even though this guy was clearly not a right-winger, clearly hated Trump, even if he didn't. See, it'd be one thing if he didn't, and they said this crap. Okay, that's wrong. All right? But he doesn't, which, even if the guy didn't, it would still be wrong. But the fact that in the face of an anti-Trump, straight up socialist Nazi shooting up a synagogue, the fact that in the face of this, with the information we have, they still go around accusing Trump is shameful. Now, I have said this, and I continue to say this. I have legitimate issues with Trump. Of course I do. I think everyone does to an extent. But to say that he's responsible for this, even in the slightest, is ridiculous. Sure, some of his rhetoric can be bad. I'm not a Trump forever. I didn't jump. I'm not on the what they call the Trump train. I support him. I support the president. I agree with his politics a lot more than I do the left. And I'm very proud of a lot of the things he's done. However, I don't jump on anyone's train because I'm not a loyalist to any man, because I know that people will fail at some point or another. That's just a fact. That's just human nature. So the people on the right who are going, Trump is God, and everything he does is some type of strategy. Everything he says is a strategy. He never makes mistakes and he's perfect. Y'all aren't helping. Okay? You're just encouraging the left. So you need to nip it in the bud too. But the main people I'm taking issue with right now is the left wing. Is those out there going, oh, Trump is the devil, is Satan, simply because he's opposed to them. What happened in Pittsburgh a week ago is horrible. And we need to move on. We need to come together, mourn, and move on. But they don't want to let this go because it just happened to be someone who is the right demographic, is the right person for their agenda. Oh, see, there are Nazis. They do exist. Yeah, no one says they don't exist We just say they're very, 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 very hard to find, which they are, very hard to find. But because of you guys, they're becoming easier to find. Because of the left is pushing people who aren't very strong-willed, who aren't very smart, or who aren't mentally all the way there. They're pushing those people over the edge because those people are like the they're like NPCs also, but in the opposite way. Media bad, must, media bad, Jew bad, must kill Jew. Like they have that same NPC mindset, they just have different views on certain things. They're identitarians too. They're just white identitarians. Both are bad. And because of the left-wing media, they have this backlash. You want this to stop. Stop glorifying the shooter. I was watching a clip on CNN on YouTube because I watch them, so you don't have to. And this woman, she was nice for the most part, decent reporter. But then she's asking the rabbi, this is the rabbi of Tree of Life Synagogue. She asks this guy, she's like, "Oh, do you have times where you break down?" Why the hell would you ask that question? Now, he answered the question, he was nice about it and all that. That's great. But you don't ask that question a week after a tragedy. A week after this guy was running from the synagogue with his congregate to get away from a murderer. You don't do it. There's other questions you can ask. Do you ever break down? That's not what people need right now. People don't need to see their leaders, in a weak place. They don't need to. You shouldn't be out there asking those questions. He shouldn't have to share his personal experiences with you. That's for another time. Right now, he has to be strong for his people. So when you present that view of their rabbi, you may not realize it, but you're making it look as if he's weak. Now clearly the guy's not weak because he's planning on teaching the next Sunday in the same building. He's a very strong-willed, strong guy, and I'm very proud of him, and I'm very proud of the congregation. I'm very proud of Pittsburgh for coming together. I'm proud of my fellow Christians for showing that, hey, this guy wasn't a Christian. He was a liar, okay? And he does not at all represent what we believe. He clearly doesn't know the Bible. Okay, the Jews are God's chosen people. It says it in the Word. Christians believe that. We're here for you, And the fact that the media they can't help themselves. They can't help themselves from, pushing more and more violent rhetoric. And again, they may not be saying... I don't think any one person is responsible for this. But this has got to stop. This is the same left wing who's anti-Israel. And they go, "Oh, but it's anti-Semitic rhetoric's wrong." But you're anti-Semites because you don't like Israel. You can't play both sides of the card. You have to be one or the other. Either you're going to support the Jewish community or you're not. So if Trump decides to show up, good. I think he should. And if they have a problem with it, they can go F themselves. Because nobody cares at this point. All we want is to move on with our lives and have a safer America. Our economy's doing great. Taxes are low. Obama, the single payer mandate in Obamacare's been gutted. So they're taking steps to get rid of Obamacare. Hopefully they abandon the idea of centralized healthcare completely and just turn it back over to the free market. That may or may not happen. There's still some things I'm hoping for. Like Trump said, repeal and replace. Replace with what? He still hasn't specified. I say replace with the free market. That's my personal view. Tariffs, I wish he'd cut that. There's some things we got to get. There's some things that I think need to be fixed. We need to get back to work. We need to restore our values, and we need to restore our society. But this anti-Trump crap, it's not the time for it. You just hold your tongue until the tragedy's over, or until everything's been reconciled to the best it can be. Just keep it together. Reach out, reach across the aisle, try to help someone. And midterms right around the corner. I may or may not be able to vote actually because my absentee ballot may not come in time. But I'm trying. If I don't get to, oh well. If I do, all right. But at least I'm trying to do my part. It's kind of hard being in college, not having a car, not even having stamps from envelopes and shit. But I'm trying. Get out there and vote if you care, if you actually know what's going on. Even those of you that aren't entirely sure about your candidates, go out and vote. Do not vote for the left. Just vote straight red. I'm not a big fan of the Republicans. I don't like most Republicans. I really don't. But I'm a Republican because what's the other choice? Don't vote Green Party. Well, obviously don't. That's the leftist party. Okay, don't vote Libertarian. Don't vote for, in New York they have conservative candidates. The conservative candidates don't have enough votes. Don't vote third party right now. It is not the time to go around voting third party. Because if they're this insane, when 11 people get shot up, if they're this insane when that happens, then they become completely sociopathic. If this has happened, the left has become completely sociopathic, and they will do anything to retain power. They're hysterical because they're threatened. Don't feed into that. Get out there and change the country.